What's up, guys? Steven here, back in the Woo studio, and today we are talking pack frames. All right, so one quick little life update. I got this little terrorist here. Oh, geez, get back here. This is Roan, the newest member of the Way Up West family. She's currently about 10 weeks old, 9-10 weeks old. German short hair pointer. She is gonna be a shed dog. But more on that another time. You might hear some pitter-patter of feet below me. But she's kind of she's a little bit of a terrorist, but she'll be running around and causing problems. So, but moving on. Oh. All right, now that we got that out of the way, let's get down to business here. I've got a couple frames I want to talk about today. Specifically the Ark frame, the new one from Kifaru. They've had it out for, I think, a year or so now. I've had this pack for about a year and a half. Or had this frame for a year and a half. Long story short, if you have any experience with the duplex light frame or any other Kifaru frame that you've ever run, this frame is still killer. I mean, it packs weight just as good. They've made a few upgrades to it that I think are awesome, and I have one small complaint. But if you want to cut the video here and just know that the frame's going to carry weight, if you're concerned about that, it's going to carry weight. You can leave now and go buy this frame without concern. A little background on kind of me and packs. I've been running Kifaru for 5 or so years now, mostly with the duplex light frame, and then now for the last year and a half or so with this frame. And before that, I've run pretty much all the major brands of hunting packs. I'm a tinker. I'm kind of a gear guy. I like to play with different gear. I like to see what works and what doesn't work, and what feels good, what doesn't feel good. And so I've had the ability, luckily, to be able to compare Kifaru packs to all the other brands. That being said, if you're running a hunting backpack, and all you ever carry is 30 pounds, they're all going to be pretty comfortable. All packs, even a JanSport's going to carry 30 pounds pretty good. Where Kifaru, in my opinion, why I've stuck with them for so long, besides the American-made thing, when the packs get heavy as crap, Kifaru starts outshining everybody else. The heaviest load I've had on this frame is 175 pounds. It was a legit weighed 175 pounds too. I'm not just kind of guessing. It was an elk hind and 2 elk fronts on this pack with all the other fixings, camera gear, and all the other stuff as well. It was a heavy load. I'm 175 pounds, so it was basically me on my back. And I mean, it was heavy and it was a trudge. It was like 2.5 miles through some downfall. But the pack held up. It held on, and it was probably about as comfortable as I could have asked for. I cinched that pack down. It didn't move. None of the buckles moved. None of the straps moved. I didn't have to take the pack off to retighten anything. But yeah, anyways, the frame was awesome. Going to this frame now. This frame's carrying weight just as good. The heaviest load I've had on this frame is probably about 130 pounds or so. I didn't weigh that one. That one's more of a guess. And it carried it like a champ. I've packed out probably close to 24 animals on this frame now. Full deer, a few elk. I packed out an elk this year out of Wyoming by myself on this pack. I took it in 3 trips, and it totaled 27 miles. It sucked, but this frame held up. It did exactly what it was supposed to do. I'm going to go over the upgrades really quick on this pack and kind of what they've done and what I like and my one small complaint. This frame right here, I'm a small in both these frames. I've got a 31-inch waist, and I'm 5'10" and 175 pounds. So this hopefully give you an idea of kind of how it fits. But it fits perfectly. Towards the end of the season, I'm closer to like 165 pounds, and this belt starts getting just a little bit tight. Still does a job, but I'm starting to run out of room. But at 175 pounds, where I stick 90% of the year, this belt fits perfect. The major upgrade they made, this frame right here in this small is 3.5 pounds, and this frame right here is just a skosh over 3 pounds. So they cut about a half a pound of weight off the frame and kept it just as stiff and carrying the load just as well. Another major upgrade that I really like, on the duplex light frame, you have these buckles to move the shoulder straps up and down, and you kind of had to loosen and shimmy or tighten and shimmy. And it was doable. It was fine. It was just kind of tedious. It worked well. It never slipped. It never moved. It was kind of a tedious task. What they've done now, obviously, they were listening to people, and they have a Velcro system here with a couple slots, and all you have to do is unvelcro it, move the shoulder strap, and put it down in the next holes, and Velcro it back up, and you're done. This one, you kind of had to loosen your pack up a little bit, get your fingers in between the pack and the frame, and kind of work it. This one, they've made it a lot easier. Another thing they've done is they upgraded the foam that was in the waist belts and the lumbar pad. I thought they were both great. What they told me is this foam isn't going to break down nearly as fast, and I think that's true. Looking at this one, it's definitely a little bit kind of flatter. You can see this one kind of sticks up just a little bit more. This one's kind of more of a rounded pad, but I liked them both, so I really don't have a complaint either way. The new one works just fine for me. The old one worked great for me, but this one is supposed to last a little bit longer is what they've been telling me. Another upgrade they made is they switched from these sewn loops they have on the side here with the K-clips, and they've changed to a removable system. They have a couple different ways that they've been attaching their packs to the bags. Like this one is a manimal, and they use this, and what it does is it feeds through the holes in the side of the pack, and you feed it through itself, and it just kind of loops, kind of hitches on top of itself. And then if you have like a pack like an Absaroka, they have some straps that attach straight to the frame and hitch straight to it. I think the system's pretty nice. It makes changing packs, I think, just a little bit easier. Another thing they changed is the way they attach the bag, the shoulder straps to the load lifters. They got rid of the K-clip style buckles, and they went to an actual locking buckle. It's just a little bit easier to kind of get them on and off the actual straps. For upgrades, I don't think I missed anything. I think I got them all. The one minor thing that I'm bummed about, it's not the end of the world, but as you can see, this is a small frame, and it has that's another upgrade they made, is the laser cut molly. But in the laser cut molly, you can see they have 4 rows on this small. If you're bigger than me, it's nothing you to worry about. As soon as you go up to a medium or any larger, you'll have plenty of these. But if you're a small guy like me, it's just something to be aware of. Is you only have 4 rows here, and on your old duplex, if you were small, you had 5. And if you're in an extra small, you only had 4, and the extra smalls only have 3 now. It worked out just fine because I put like a large hip belt on top of this, and I have another video on this as well. And I'd attach them to both sides, and then I would slide a handgun in between the waist belt and the bag. So the hip belt was protecting the gun inside of the holster. I was running a JC Custom Kydex holster. It's specifically built for this purpose, keeping it really slim, really low profile, and slips right between that hip belt and the hip belt and the hip pocket. Yeah, a couple tips for this frame that I've found that I've liked. If you just keep, number one, keep one of these in every single slot. You don't have to worry about where you're clipping your buckles. You can clip the straps, and you can clip these clips and the K-clips wherever you want, and you can adjust as you need. I found especially if you're a shed hunter and you know how those loads get with those elk sheds, they get really, really weird, and you gotta start adding some weird angles and loops and stuff to make sure the sheds don't move and they don't shift on you. Being able to move these and put these anywhere, I mean, you can put these in any spot you want, and now you can attach one of those frames anywhere. I mean, anywhere you have a loop, you can stick one of these things and you can attach a clip to it and cinch it down. Kifaru builds a freaking super robust pack. I haven't torn anything, and that's saying something. I'm out of the field a lot, and I beat the crap out of these packs. I sit on them in the rocks. They're my sit pads when it's wet. I beat them up. I'm not easy on them, and they last. And I crank on those straps, and I haven't broke one yet. So, anyways, the other tip that I'd like to say. So one thing, this is going to take me a second, so I'm going to probably fast forward this part, but when you take the meat shelf off, you can see I've got those same straps here again, those same little deals, because that is where that's where the new load lifters go when you put the meat on the meat shelf. I'm going to do that just so you can see it. I leave these here just to make sure I always have them and they're ready to rock and roll. And the other thing that you can see is the actual meat shelf, the meat sleeve, meat shelf. That right here has those little tri-slides that they have, and I just slip that right into what notch I ever want. I've got a couple adjustments so I can go up and down and make this looser or tighter, and that goes right there, and you're ready to go. Bada boom, bada bing. Strap the meat on, clip that to the load lifters, cinch them down. Boom, ready to go. Yeah, I think that's it, guys. That's the Ark frame. If you have any questions, feel free to drop some comments below. I think I covered everything. I hope I covered everything, because that was like 7 dang tries to get all through that, and hopefully some sort of digestible information. But yeah, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and if you have any ideas of my next video, anything you're wondering about if you're coming out west, because I don't know anything about whitetail, but I've been hunting the west for quite a while. This is my awkward send-off.